heard you talk about parents' rights to raise their kids how they want. In fact, I just double checked. You voted no on making it illegal for kids to be married to adults at the age of 12.
This is Missouri State Representative Peter Meredith confronting State Senator Mike Moon over his support for child marriage during a debate on Moon's bill that would ban gender-affirming care for trans children.
If their parents consented to it. You said actually that should be the law because it's the parents' right and the kid's right to decide what's best for them, to be raped by an adult. Okay?
Do you know any kids who have been
With
married
marriage.
at age 12?
That was the law.
do you know
You
any
voted
kids-
not to change it.
Do you know any kids who have been married at age 12?
I don't need to.
I do.
What Moon says next is shocking and vile, so listen carefully.
And guess what? They're still married.
Gentlemen,
I'm Rayy Vana, and welcome back to Rebel HQ. Yes, you heard that right. He says he knows children who got married when they were 12 and brags about them still being married. Now, Moon did go on Twitter to try to defend his comments. Moon said, "Something that is often missing is the backstory. With regard to my answer, I did not discuss the details. The 12-year-old impregnated a minor of similar age. With consent of the parents, they married and are still married today." The fact that Moon thinks that this story is better by adding those facts is shocking. It's not a feel-good story that a 12-year-old had to carry a fetus to term and start a family before she was even old enough to drive a car, before she was old enough to go to high school. That's not endearing. It's mortifying. But Moon told that same story in the legislature in 2018 when he voted no on a bill that would have raised the state's minimum marriage age from 15 to 16. But it's not just Republicans who, by the way, claim that they want to protect the children who are protecting the institution of child marriage in Missouri. It's happening in Republican-controlled states all around the country.
I'm one of those guys that I've got parents who 50 years later are still giddy teenagers that were married at the age of 16, and I can accept a number of 16, right? My parents were married at 16. They are disgustingly in love. To this day, they can't keep their hands off each other. And so I would ask this body to consider a more reasonable figure of 16.
That was West Virginia State Senator and former federal prosecutor Mike Stewart defending the institution of child marriage because his parents got married when they were children. And the same thing happened with Republicans in Wyoming just last month. They opposed a bill that would have prevented children from getting married until the age of 16. So if you're a parent with a trans child, and after having consultations with doctors, have decided that your child should be on hormone blockers, that's not okay. But if you're a parent who wants to marry your 12-year-old off to some disgusting old man, well, that's your God-given right as an American.